Welcome, class, to day 8 of digital learning. All week, we've been looking at box and whisker plots. We looked at how we can use our technology to help us find a 5-number summary and how to use that 5-number summary to create box and whisker plots. We then learned about how the shape, center, and spread can help us interpret what the box plot is telling us about our data. Today, we're going to put it all together so that we can compare 2 or more data sets using what we learned this week about shape, center, and spread. So let's look at our first example. TV and homework minutes per night. Our top graph shows us how many minutes students are spending on homework each night. And our second box plot shows us how many minutes students are spending on TV time each night. Question 1 asks us, what percentage of students watch TV for at least 15 minutes? So it's asking us about TV, so we're looking at the second graph. And it says, how many watch TV for more than 15 minutes? Well, 15 is my Q1. So if my Q1 equals 15, that means that 25% of the data is in our first whisker. And if we combined all 3 of these quartiles, then they would contain 75% of our data. Let's see if that's right. Yes. 75% of the students watch TV for 15 minutes a night or more. 25% watch 15 minutes or less. Our next question asks us, what is the third quartile for TV time? So we're still looking at our second graph here for TV time. And it wants to know what the third quartile is. Well, I know that the third quartile ends my box portion of my box and whisker plot. And that portion of our diagram is labeled 110. So I'm going to say that the third quartile for TV time is 110 minutes. And that's correct. Our next question is really where we start to get into comparing. So is it more common for a sophomore at this high school to spend more than 1 hour on homework or more than 1 hour watching TV? Explain. So let's take a look at our data a little more in depth. Is it more common for a sophomore at high school to spend more than 1 hour on homework or more than 1 hour watching TV? There are 60 minutes in an hour. 60 minutes represents our Q3 for homework time. It's asking us for more than an hour. So what percentage of students are spending more than 60 minutes on homework? Well, I know that each whisker of my box and whisker contains 25% of my data. So 25% of students are spending more than an hour. And what about watching TV? 60 minutes is our median or our Q2 for TV times plot. This means that 25% fall between the median and Q3 and 25 fall between the Q3 and max. So 50% of students are watching over an hour of TV. Let's see if our statement is true. It says 50% of students watch TV for more than 1 hour and only 25% of students spent more than 1 hour on homework. That's exactly what we said up here. Do you guys see how we're using what we know about analyzing shape, center, and spread to make statements comparing these 2 box plots? We're going to continue to use these 2 box plots to answer questions 4 through 12. Question 4. Some sophomores didn't watch TV that month. Let's go see. TV time, our minimum value is 0. That's included in our data, so it is true that some sophomores didn't watch TV that month. 0 is included in the data. 0 minutes, that is. Question 5. The TV box and whisker graph contains more data than the homework graph. False. They are both using the same survey sample. However, it is more spread for TV time. There is a larger spread. So that is false, but the spread is larger. Number 6. 25% of the sophomores spend between 48 and 60 minutes per night on homework. 48 and 60 is what 25% of students are completing homework between that time, because 48 is our median value and 60 is our Q3. And I know that 25% of my data falls between my median and Q3, or in the second half of my box. So let's check and see if that is right. It should be true. Number 7, 15% of sophomores didn't watch TV that month. Let's go look at our data. So 15% of sophomores did not watch TV. I don't know how I would be able to confirm that looking at my data, but I don't know a way that we could get that information. Box plots only seem to show us breakdowns in the 25%. So let's see what they say. Yeah, cannot be determined. That's right. We can't find that information from a box and whisker plot. Number 8, in general, these sophomores spend more time watching TV than doing homework. I would say in general, it does look like there is greater variability and a larger percent of people or students watching TV for more than an hour than doing homework. So I'm going to say that that is true. Number 9, the TV data is more varied than the homework data. When we're talking about variability, we're talking about range and interquartile range. Range and IQR. If you remember, our IQR is represented in a box plot by the box itself. So which one, homework time or TV time, has a longer box? That's right, TV time has a longer box. It also has a greater range because its whiskers from minimum to maximum are further apart than that on the homework time box plot. TV data is more varied in both the range and the interquartile range than homework data. So I'm going to say that that's true. Number 10, the ratio of sophomores who spend more than 110 minutes per night watching TV to those who spend about 2 to 1. So it wants to know a ratio. I remember last week we talked about ratio a little bit and how ratios are fractions. So it wants a fraction of sophomores who spend more than 110 minutes per night watching TV to those who spend less than 110 minutes. So 110 minutes watching TV is our quartile 3. Okay, so there's one quartile above. And there is 1, 2, 3 3 quartiles below. So that would create a ratio of 3 to 1. Number 11, 225 sophomores watch TV. Does any part of this graph tell us how many students were surveyed? I'll erase everything really quickly so that we can really take a look at it. Does anything about that table or those two box plots tell us how many people were surveyed? No. It just tells me about the minutes. So I'm going to say that that cannot be determined. And that would be correct. Our last one. Twice as many sophomores watch TV for more than an hour than do homework for more than an hour. For more than an hour, we have 25% in the half of our box and 25% in our whisker. So for more than an hour, we have 50% of students watching TV. We have 25% of students watching TV for more than an hour for homework time. So let's look at our question one last time. Twice as many sophomores watch TV for more than an hour than do homework. Well, guys, 50% is twice as much as 25 because 25 times 2 is 50. So that is true.